Occasionally, Rachelle and I go out for a smoko, which is really her going out for a smoko and me pretending to be someone that goes out for a smoko. We sit down and light up, and she tells me about her ex-boyfriend from 5 years ago who cheated on her and left her with only the cat. So she moved back in with her parents, and now she only needs her niece to love. I tell Rachelle that this is ridiculous. She's definitely going to meet someone who she really cares about. Then I take the cigarette from her and I tell her about this guy that I met, an older man who is totally into me. She laughs and says that she would never, ever, under no circumstances, go out with a dude that much older than her. And what would my parents think of this if they knew about it anyway? I protest, but Rachelle is not having a bar. She'll have lollies and her novelty-sized coffee mug and cigarettes galore, but she's not having a bar of my older man. And that's kind of why I love her. On a clear winter night like this, there are certain things that I think only Canberra can do to me, and they're etched somewhere back in the dark recesses of my mind, close enough to sense and far away enough to be really beautiful. Those things are simple and very clear, like the sky out here. And every morning when I drive out to work alone, they come with me, sitting next to me in the seat, and right now they're all I have. From my desk, I can see Black Mountain, I can see cows, and I can see this construction site where a man actually works who I'll meet in 3 weeks' time whilst playing pool at the Belconnen Tradies Club. Today though, at work, it's just before lunch and I wish this day would end because I am so fucking bored. Rachelle is over there laughing hysterically at some angry doctor named Hazid, so I decide that it's time to take action. I quietly take my empty mug from my desk, I reach into my bag and get my iPod, and I make a beeline for the disabled toilets. Once in there, I close the door behind me, I lock it, and I plug my earphones in. I pick 212 by Azalea Banks, and then I go crazy. I fucking dance like fucking crazy. I throw my limbs around and I shake my head so that all the bobby pins fall out. It's hysterical and I feel completely wild. I'm laughing at myself, thinking, if only someone could see this, if only someone could know about this, how wild I am. And then I think to myself, I should definitely, totally write about my life experiences. It's been a full day of entering data into a computer. Their name, gender, address, date of birth, next of kin, third party, email, phone number, photo, signature, passport, hundreds every day. Small packages of a human life asking to be allowed in, begging to be allowed in. And every time I dance in the disabled toilets, and it's most days now to be honest, I think that maybe that's one more doctor missing out. But Rachelle, she tells me that you can't think like that. You shouldn't think like that. You've got to treat them like data so that you don't feel so guilty about it. They're all from war-torn countries. They're all supposedly struggling, but come on. Tomorrow our section are going out for fries and ice cream at McDonald's because it's a Friday and that's what we do on Fridays. And then another full day of data entry and more people entered into the system. Canberra is still and calm and fucking freezing at the moment. And the trees are naked, apart from a few clinging leaves. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've come home because after the past few months, every part of me was telling me to stop, to stay still and calm, as still as I could possibly stay. I mean, I worked myself up, so I guess I could work myself back down, right? Let me tell you more about Rachelle. Rachelle has long red hair, vivid blue eyes, a broken heart, and an uncanny ability to laugh hysterically whenever she is on the phone to anyone. She keeps packets of lollies in her desk drawer, which occasionally come hurtling towards my head throughout the day. Rachelle has this novelty-sized coffee mug, which I love because she's this tiny, tiny lady. When I'm stuck on something, Rachelle grabs her mug and she waddles over to me. She loves telling me how it is, and to be honest, I love that she can tell me how it is. She nuzzles into a chair, tiny like a child and with her feet dangling above the ground. "What do we have here?" she says. "What do we have here?" She takes a sip from her novelty-sized coffee mug, and that's why I love her. Sitting out there, pretending to have a smoko most days now, I need Rachelle, and I know that Rachelle needs me. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've come home because after the past few months, every part of me was telling me to be quiet and calm and very, very still as I could possibly be. I worked myself up, so I hope I can work myself back down, right? I've come home because every part of me told me to be still and quiet and to stop running. To stop running for once. This is the only place I knew. Outside, it's cool and dark, and the moon is slapped full against the sky. In the paper today, I read about native Australian trees. When conditions are harsh, there's this particular kind of tree that, out of preservation's sake, decides to cut off water to one of its branches, the heaviest branch. So you'll be walking along in the bush, and what you'll see is this one branch just completely black and a completely healthy tree trunk right next to it. So eventually what happens is the branch dies and falls to the ground, and without that extra heavy weight, the tree can finally prosper. I breathe in. The ground has a kind of complex and sweet smell to it, like dead leaves and grass and melted frost all mixed in together. The trees around the perimeter of my backyard are naked, and there are a few clinging leaves. And it's strange to me, this sense of comfort I feel at the leaves falling, just to know that it's happening alone without me, the leaves falling from all of the trees. And eventually, they'll be gone. I look up to the moon. It's full and so full of clarity, and I fucking envy it. And not long from now, all the leaves will be gone, and I'll be glad.